What's going on, everybody? With King Arthur's Gold going free to play, I've seen a lot of new builders. I've seen a lot of sketchy things by these new builders, and I figured I'd make a video to give you guys some tips and tricks on how you can be a little bit better at builder. Now, I'm playing on sandbox mode right now, so everything's kind of a mess, but let's go ahead and get into this. So tip number one, when the game first starts. Now, I'm not talking about when you first join a game, but when it's a brand new game and it just started and there's that gap, that red thing in between you and the other team so you can't attack. Really, when that happens, when a game first starts, everybody should be a builder at that point. You know, I've seen a lot of new players and they're playing as archer or knight, and so they just stand around waiting until they can go off and attack. And a lot of this is because they figure, well, I'm not good at builder or whatever. But look, when a game first starts, everybody should be builder, because even if you're not good at building or you're not building, you can be mining resources. King Arthur's Gold is a game entirely about teamwork. So it's important that at the beginning of a game, even if you're not building, everybody is mining resources, whether that's lumber, whether that's stone, whatever it is, because you can hold F, you can take those resources, and you can give those to people who are building. So again, it's all about teamwork. You're putting your team at a disadvantage if during that start of the game you're just kind of like standing around waiting to go over and attack. So always remember that. If you're not feeling like playing builder, but it's the start of a game, play one anyway and mine some resources. So the next thing that needs to be done at the very beginning of a game. Now again, there's no way I can cover everything in one video, but this is really about, the start of a game. So another thing that needs to happen at the start of a game, one of the first things you need to build is one of these workshops. Then once you've done that, hold E, press this up arrow, and you need to build one of these builder shops. This should be one of the first things that goes down. Why? Because from this builder shop, you can buy a saw. And this will greatly increase the amount of lumber that you can gather. So let's put this saw over here for a second. Now remember, when you're not using it, click E to turn it off. Otherwise, your teammates can die by jumping into it. So before we use this saw, go over to some trees and kind of create this pattern. Use these, it's kind of hard to see because someone already built here, but use these kind of back support walls that you can walk in front of. Build 2 up on either side of the tree, and then on top of that, put a stone block. Then what we're going to do, let's turn this back on, grab it with C, and then put it right here. Now what this basically does is when we chop the tree's going to fall straight down into the saw, and you're going to get a ton of wood just like that. That is way easier than cutting down a tree, and then you have a bunch of logs, and then you got to harvest all the logs one by one. So every team needs that. These wood blocks are already here. Someone already placed those, so ignore those. But anyway, your team needs that pretty quickly. Some other things you can buy from the shop are lanterns if it gets dark or you're in a tunnel. By the way, if somebody on your team is ratting, you know what ratting is? That's when they're building a tunnel and they're deep underground. Okay? I don't know how to demonstrate this. Okay, look. There's a tunnel way over here. Let me give you a tip that will really help you out. So let's say you have a teammate down here, and you decide to go down and help them tunnel over to the enemy base, alright? Don't use emojis, because the other team might not see you down here because it might be dark, okay? So don't do this, okay? Because it's going to alert the other team that you're down there, and they're going to come and clear you out. Also, don't take a lantern like I just bought a minute ago. Don't put a lantern down there. I don't care. It doesn't matter if you can't see. That's the point. If you can't see, they probably can't see. So that's tip number 3. Also, there's a lot of good stuff from this builder shop. These stone things you throw from catapults. This water absorption sponge. This won't clear out a whole lake on its own, but it will clear out little patches of water. So if we throw that in, you can see it kind of clears some areas. So that'll help if something got flooded. You can kind of block off where the water is, and then you can throw a sponge down, and that'll kind of help you out. Now the sponge does get full, and then it's kind of worthless. Okay. What else can we go over here? Here's a big tip. Do not build your base out of wood. Why? Because archers can catch that on fire. If you're going to surround your workshops, like stuff like this, then we can build a night shop right here, and you want to cover this, don't do it with wood. I'm telling you, it's just not a good idea, guys, because an archer is going to catch that on fire, and it's all going to burn down. Use stone. Now, maybe you might want to use some wood doors for like here, but for the most part, use stone. By the way, this is a really good design, what I'm making right now. Go ahead and check this out. We can put stone or wood doors. See this kind of design that I'm making? This is a good little thing that you can make. Because you can keep stacking this, and we can make an archer shop. And now you gotta beware, because someone can catch these doors on fire and then it will burn up. Okay, so you might want to start it off with some stone doors, and then on the inside you use wood doors. But yeah, so this is a cool little design because you can just keep going up and up and up. See that? Memorize that. That's a good little pattern, little starter pattern, and you can just keep going. And we're out of wood, so we can go over here and get some more wood. Okay, so that's tip number 4. Actually, that's tip number 4 and 5. Number 4, don't build stuff out of wood, because an archer is going to catch it on fire. See how I'm building up like this? This is a really cool design to have near your spawn, you know, near your base, because people can run from the spawn into here. They can go up here if they're night, grab their thing, run out here. Pretty easy stuff, all right? Okay. Let's see, spikes. This will be our last tip, and then if you want me to make another video, because I can make whole videos on this stuff, of a lot more tips. But let's go over spikes. But if you want another video, just like leave a comment or something. Okay, spikes. These can kill your team. Okay, if you're gonna lay spikes, if you're gonna do spike traps, put them on stone. Like that, because then they stay in the ground unless the enemy team falls on them. If they're on wood, your own team can fall on them and get hurt. If they're on dirt, again, your team can get hurt by that. Okay, so always remember to put it on stone, because then your team won't get hurt. But if the other team steps on them, they'll pop out and hurt the other team. A basic trap that I see a lot of people make is something like this. Go ahead and make this. You can, so you can see it's 4 down, like 5 across, 4 up, and then you can put some stones down. I'm sorry, some what's it called? Spikes. You can put some spikes down like that. Now, what I see a lot of builders do that are new, they'll put these. Now, this is a trap block. Okay, so with this block, that means that the other team can go through that, but your team cannot go through that, okay? But here's the thing. Some people just leave it like this. Don't leave it like this, because the other team can fall in it, but then they can jump out. So you not only want to have those trap blocks, it's good to have these wooden platforms. Use the spacebar to rotate it and make something like this. Or you could have it the other way around with the trap blocks on top and the wooden platforms down there. Because when they fall in, when they jump back up, they're going to, you know, they're not going to be able to. So that's a cool little trap that you can make. And that about does it for this video. So leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, again, you can leave a comment. If you have any other tips for new builders, leave a comment. And if you want me to make more videos, I know this is a little bit unorganized, but it hopefully gets the point across, hopefully helps out some new builders. And go ahead and subscribe. This is a new YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on King Arthur's Gold, and thank you guys so much for watching.